Hi everyone. I wanted to get up some slides dealing with our next lab quiz. So as we know, and if you guys right now, you can pause this video and go get it, but I need everybody as you're watching this video to have your tentative course calendar that we were using prior to the COVID-19 incident in front of you as we're going through this. Also, if you can, get your white lab binder out and turn to chapter 7 in your white lab binder. This is not going to be a long video. I want this to be very to the point and concise because you can use these slides as a refresher. Plus, it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. So guys, pause this, go get your tentative course calendar that we were using before and get your white lab binder and turn to chapter 7. Okay, now, we're not 100% sure yet what we're going to do with labs. It's difficult because with phlebotomy, and there's other programs that's suffering under the same thing, you need hands-on experience. You need to be sticking people. You need to be doing venipuncture, skin puncture, drawing with syringes, and we did a lot of that. But we had a lot more we needed to do. So what we're hoping, and I want you guys to know that if you're hearing stuff out there that decisions been made, I'm here to tell you that's very unlikely not true, because BIPSI's not going to jump and make any decisions until we know for sure when we can get back on campus, when we not can get back on campus. And right now, no one really knows that yet, okay? And we're very hopeful, and the entire faculty and staff at BIPSI is working around the clock to do everything we can to make sure that no one has to take an eye unless it's the last resort, okay? So what I want y'all to do is we're going to continue with as much of lab online as we can in hopes that we can get back onto campus at some point and possibly even do some light boot camp. I don't know what yet, but something that works with everybody's schedule so you can get the hands-on experience you need to be successful moving forward in your phlebotomy program. Okay, so we're not going to worry about that right now. What we're going to do is do the lessons that I give you and looking at your tentative course calendar. Remember, we were coming back on March the 17th, which would have been that Tuesday. You were going to turn in case study number 2. It was due that day, so I know that's finished. Everybody's finished that one. They finished it during their original spring break because they knew they were going to turn that in when they came back. So I know everybody's through with case study number 2, but in case you're not, guys, that needs to be done today. Get on that ASAP, okay? And we'll discuss how you can turn that in to me because there's multiple ways we can do it. There are free scanner apps out there that you can download onto your phone and scan documents in and then email them to me. You can, of course, take a picture with your phone camera, save it, and then email it to me. We're going to figure out a way for you to get it into me so that it can be graded and counted, okay? But that one should be through, and you should already be working on case study number 3 and case study number 4, okay? Now, we've gotten lecture test number 3 out of the way. That was the test that we had completed in the classroom, and we were going to take that when we got back from spring break. And we have now done that. I typed all 100 of those questions up, loaded it into Canvas. You guys took it, and I know there was a lot of stress over the 40-minute time limit, but I'm going to be honest with you. Most of you took 40 minutes in the classroom, okay? We only had a few students that took anywhere near the whole class time, and honestly, no one took the whole class time. Now, we do have some options, and I'm going to try to get with you guys this week to set up some type of Zoom or blue button conference call that we're all could be on the computer, that we're all going to be on live together, and we can discuss our options for testing going forward. Now, we have a few choices, and I'm not too sure the final is not, I'm pretty sure that what we're going to do is our final exam in lecture will be proctored. And in other words, there will be And I don't know how many of you have ever taken a proctor exam before, but through the webcam, it can see what you're doing. It also can record your screen clicks and whether you click off and go to something else and whether you're looking down and looking at something that's laying on your desk. If any of you have, I would like you to send me an email. If you've done a proctor test before, you don't have to do this, but if you've never taken a proctored exam, send me an email and we'll get together on that, okay? And we're going to have a live conference chat as a class about our options for test taking, okay? Are we going to just increase the time to 50 minutes possibly and then continue the way we did lecture 3? Or are we going to institute the proctor on our test going forward and do them on all of them, or are we just going to proctor our final exam? So I'm going to let everybody vote on this. We're going to do it democratically. But I'm going to be honest, I have to know that I am doing the best I can to make sure this is fair for all students and that I'm doing my job as an instructor to make sure that you're learning this material. Because when you go in to sit for your ASCP registry exam, you will not be able to look at your notes. You will not be able to look at your study guides. You will not be able to look it up on the computer. And I would be doing you a disservice as an instructor to allow you to not do the hard work of learning this stuff, because then when you sit for your registry exam, you won't be able to pass it, which means you won't be able to go to work. And this would all have been for nothing. And I'm not going to do that to you guys, okay? So don't put a lot of thought into this. We can talk about this on the conference call as an entire class. We can make the best decision, okay? What we need to focus on right now is you've completed lab lecture number 3. Now, all the videos, and those videos, even the ones with the poor visual, have been up since late March. You guys have had that information. A lot of you guys should have already filled out all the study guides for chapters 9, 10, and 11. You should have at least been working on this and be midway through, because that's the next test that is coming. The next lecture test that is coming is going to be on chapters 9, 10, and 11. You have my lecture videos up. They've been up for a while. You should be filling out your study guides. You should be studying that. You can call up your lab partners. You have their some of them cell numbers. I encouraged that when you were in class before. You guys can quiz each other over the phone. Okay, you can use Zoom. Zoom is a good tool. You can use it to video conference with your classmates to form study groups. Not only will it help you guys study, and you guys look into this, and I can send you some information. Get together, use Zoom. Use Zoom as a way for you to form study groups to study for your next upcoming test. Not only will it help you with the isolation, and you can see somebody's face and you can talk to them, but at the same time, you're learning this information to be able to be successful in these tests, okay? So we now have established that we knew when we come back on the 17th, we were going to take lecture test number 3, and we've gotten that out of the way, so good. Mark that off the list. We knew that on that Thursday, the 19th, we were going to take lab quiz number 4 on chapter 7 and 8, and I'm going to talk to y'all. I'm giving you a little information on that test, but that test will be up on Wednesday, okay? That test will be up on Wednesday, lab quiz number 4 that y'all would have taken on March the 19th, okay? That's going to be up on Wednesday, and I'm probably going to leave it up until Friday, but the sooner you can take it, because like I said, you guys should already be ready for that test. Those study guides for 7 and 8 should already be filled out. You should have read the chapters already, and you should have been studying. You would have had to take that on that Thursday. So I'm going to open it up on Wednesday, and then I'm probably going to close it on Friday. But the thing is, you need to get it behind you so that now you can start studying the new stuff, okay? Also, on Wednesday at midnight, the case study number 2 will be due. And again, you can either download some type of scanning app to your phone, scan it in and email it to me, or you can take a picture of it with your phone and email it to me. If you have any issues with that, let me know and we'll move forward with that. Start working on case study number 3 and case study number 4. and I'm going to give you a tentative course calendar that's going to show you the new dates that those are due, and you should have that new tentative course calendar this evening. So now, focusing on the fact that we're going to take lab quiz number 4 this week that y'all have already studied for. So now I ask you to pause it and get your tentative course calendar, so we've looked at that and we know where we are on where we're moving forward with that. Now, if you'll look in your white lab binder on chapter 7, it talks about large bore capillary tube microcontainers. Okay, all the information you need to fill out your study guides in the back of chapter 7 is in that chapter. Okay, you should have already read it. These should already be filled out. Okay, you should have already been studying Appendix A, right, for this test. You should know your abbreviations, like RBC stands for red blood cell count, UTI stands for urinary tract infection. Then moving on to chapter 8, blood smears, syringes, and winged infusion sets. This chapter covers all of that, and everything that you need to fill out your study guides at the back for chapter 8 is in this information. You should have already read it. You should have already filled out your study guides. You should have already been studying Appendix A, and you should already know your abbreviations, like PCO2 stands for partial pressure of carbon dioxide, and ECG stands for electrocardiogram. Okay? Now, these are just some slides to help you with your memory. We did this. This was our 13A worksheet that we actually did on our dummy arm, a TB skin test. We performed it, we measured it, we recorded it, and you'll remember if you have 0 to 5 millimeters, it's negative. 0 to 6 to 9 millimeters is questionable and must be repeated, and 10 millimeters or greater is a positive sign. But I wanted to give you this information just so y'all could look over it, okay? Just to jog your memory. Also, here's some good information on the skin puncture review. This is taken directly out of your lab packet. Make sure you're familiar with this, make sure you understand this, and you know how to do this step by step, okay? So go over this and make sure you understand all the steps you need to do in the right order correctly for a correct and successful skin puncture. Then in chapter 8, also, and here we talked about collection of blood for differential blood smears and into microcontainers. Here's some very good pictures. There's also additional pictures and information in chapter 7 and 8 in your white lab binder. Continuing with differential blood smears, like I said, and it shows you in your lab manual, you want to have, when you label your specimen, and you never label any specimens until they're collected, you put the full name of the person's blood that you just collected and made the blood smear on, you put the date that you collected it on there, and you put your initials on there. And remember, you have to have 2 slides, 2 good slides to perform that differential blood smear. Also, we talk about in chapter 8 about malaria, okay? And so this is some information that I wanted to give y'all to make available to you to help you study for this upcoming test on Wednesday. And this is our last slide on here. Guys, you have the ability to pause these, rewind them, and look at them. I know that y'all, while we were in class, it takes us days to go through an entire work packet. The work packet we were working on and just about finished up before we went on spring break was for chapter 7 and 8. It was labs 13 through 16. The only thing that we didn't finish on that was a few just hands-on stuff dealing with collecting blood. But as far as covering all the material that you need for that lab test, we've done that. And you would have already filled out your study guides. You would have been studying during spring break. You had an extended spring break, and now we've had even more time than that. So this test is going to be up, and on Wednesday, you guys are going to take that one. And I hope everyone takes it on Wednesday and gets it off their plate so they can move on to the next thing that we have to do. So in closing, what you guys should be doing, okay, is checking your emails, checking your Canvas, Don't worry about the discussions. We're going to get that straightened out, and you guys will be able to do those. You need to, by Wednesday at midnight, I want you to turn in that case study number 2, and I'll send that out in an email as well, and start working on the next case study 3 and 4. I'm going to send you out an updated tentative course calendar for the next few weeks, showing you what's due. I'll have lab quiz number 4 on chapter 7 and 8 up by Wednesday morning. We want to take that and get that out of the way. Also, all the videos, including the updated with really good visual on chapters 9, 10, and 11 are up on the YouTube channel. Please watch them. I hope you have been watching them. I put a lot of those up. I know they weren't great, but they were there, that you were starting to get the information to fill out those, read those chapters and fill those study guides out. You should be studying for studying those chapters and those study guides. So hang in there. We're all going to get through this. And remember, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns at all, please reach out to me by email, okay? And I'll get back to you. You guys stay safe and have a great day.